Ei, gente, tudo bem? Have you guys been enjoying the weekend? This kind of cloudy and you have Super Bowl coming up, right? I do not mean to spoil your Sunday, but I thought I would make a video for you explaining the articles, okay? So let's do this. So we have in Portuguese and in English we have the definite. So I'm going to write this here, okay? The definite articles. So the definite article in English is the. So what does that mean? Definite already explained. So you're not talking about any pen or any person or any book. You're talking about one specific book. So when you say the book, the green book is mine. The teacher, the teacher from Brazil is Vanessa. Okay, something like this. So when you use the in Portuguese, this is a little confusing because it's the opposite, right? So the definite article in Portuguese. So how do we say? Como se diz definite article? Artigo. And remember that in Portuguese, the adjective always comes after the noun. So in English, if you say definite article, in Portuguese, it's going to be the opposite, okay? Artigo definido. So in Portuguese, it is, artigo definido. So in English, you have the. In Portuguese, you have o. So if the noun is masculine, singular. If the noun is masculine plural, you're going to have os. If the noun is feminine singular, a. If the noun is feminine plural, as. Okay? So if you want to say, for example, the pens are on the table. So how are you going to say that? So you have here the pens, okay? So it's definite. Então, as canetas, remember that canetas is feminine, right? So it's in the plural. As canetas estão, the verb is in the plural. Oops, tio. As canetas estão on the table, okay? Or on the top of the table. This is how, in Portuguese, remember the preposition? Em cima. And then you have on the table. So you have em cima, and then you have on top of is em cima de, okay? But what happens here? And then you have the table, a mesa. So when you have the preposition de and the article a, you cannot leave it like that, okay? You are going to have to put these two here. You are going to have to put these two in. So you are going to combine these two and you are going to have what? Em cima da mesa. Okay, this is what's going to happen with the preposition and the article, okay? Let's see now. The students. And I want only the male students, okay? Because it makes a difference, right? In Portuguese. Male. The students are in the classroom. So how are you going to say that? You're going to say, because I am saying that the male students only, you're going to say os alunos estão, and then in the classroom. So you have the preposition in and the article the, okay? So in Portuguese, you have to find out. So how do you say in? It's the preposition em. And then the classroom, a sala de aula. So you cannot leave the preposition and the article like this, okay? So what are you going to do? You're going to combine the preposition with the article. Eles estão na sala de aula. The teacher is Brazilian. Oops. In English, you capitalize nationality. In Portuguese, you don't, right? The teacher is Brazilian. So how are you going to say this in Portuguese? Professora is I am, I'm a woman, so you're going to say a professora. Profe, only one F. Some of you spelled professora with double F. It's double S, okay? A professora é. Remember that the verb to be in Portuguese, you have two verbs, ser and estar. So when you're talking about nationality, it's never the verb estar, it's always the verb ser, ok? Então a professora é, acento agudo no é, otherwise it becomes and. A professora é, and then do not capitalize nationality. ok? Brasileira. A professora é brasileira. Let's see, what else? So what do we have? We have feminine, masculine. I think we're good here, right? So the definite article in Portuguese, so you always have to remember if the noun is masculine or feminine, singular or plural, okay? Now, the indefinite article. So as the indefinite article. In Portuguese, you're going to have, so in English, you have, so how do you say this? Artigo indefinido. So in Portuguese, these are, in English, you have a or an, right? If a comes before a noun that has a vowel sound, you have to use an instead of a, okay? So what are these in Portuguese? You are going to say masculine, and the feminine. So or uma, okay? Now, you do have the plural, and then you have, so when you want to say a book, a teacher, an eraser, you are always going to say ou uma. Uma borracha, uma professora, professor, okay? I have a question. Vanessa, eu tenho uma pergunta, ok? Do you have a pencil? Vanessa, você tem lápis, okay? Now, you do have the words uns, so plural. Uns and umas. Oops. So remember what I told you in class? When you have a word that ends with M in Portuguese, when you make the plural, the M has to change to an N, okay? Então, o M, plural uns, U-N-S. Now, here's the thing. It changes when you use and umas, actually changes, it means some, okay? So when you have to say the same thing, some, okay? So, eu tenho umas perguntas para você, okay? Some people like coffee, some people don't. Umas pessoas gostam de café, outras não. Ok? Uns alunos falam espanhol, outros alunos não. Ok? So, uns e umas change, the meaning changes and it is some. Ok? So, this is what you need to know about the definite and indefinite articles, okay? And just remember that it's confusing sometimes because the in Portuguese, in English is the indefinite one. So sometimes you get things mixed up. So make sure you pay attention to that, okay? So let's take a look at on page 40, página 43, ok? Então aqui você tem o Rócio e o Manuel, ok? São estudantes, eles são estudantes, ok? O Rócio está em casa e o Manuel está em casa, ok? O Manuel está estudando e o Rócio está assistindo televisão, ele está vendo televisão, ok? Então, nós temos o diálogo. Olá, Rócio, a lição está difícil? So I don't know how Rossio is answering because he's watching television, right? He's not doing the homework. Manuel is studying, right? So, olá, Rossio, a lição está difícil? So, remember that in English, for you to make a question, you invert the position of the verb and the subject. That's why you know it's a question, right? Is the lesson difficult? And usually the intonation in English is not a rising intonation because you don't need to, because you have the inversion of the verb, or you use do, does, or did. But in Portuguese, we don't have that. So it's very important for you. How do I know if this is a statement or a question? It's the intonation. That's all we go for, okay? So, a lição está difícil. So you have to give it a rising intonation, okay? A lição está difícil. Está sim. So remember that we don't answer with sim, we use the verb, okay? A lição está difícil? Está. And remember that está, we just shorten it to tá. This is what you hear all the time, okay? Está bem? Tá. Tá bem? Tá. Está na hora? Tá. Então, a lição está difícil? Está sim. Precisamos de um dicionário. Então, remember the verb precisar, and you have a noun, so you have to use the preposition de, okay? We need a dictionary, okay? Então, olha só, precisamos de um dicionário. E de uma gramática? So, né? Do we need a grammar too? Então, e de uma gramática? Boa ideia. Good idea. A biblioteca, so the library, okay? The library tem várias gramáticas, like several grammars and dictionaries, okay? Então, a biblioteca tem várias gramáticas e dicionários. As gramáticas são boas, so, the grammar books are good, so the grammar books that are in the library, okay? So, as gramáticas são boas. O professor de português usa as gramáticas da biblioteca para preparar as aulas. Então, o professor, so it's not like any teacher, it's the Portuguese teacher, ok? Então, o professor de português usa o verbo usar, eu uso, você usa, nós usamos, eles usam. O professor de português usa as gramáticas da biblioteca para preparar as aulas, to prepare the classes that he teaches, ok? Para preparar as aulas. Perfeito, precisamos de uma sala com uma janela e uma mesa grande. So, we need a room with a big window and a big table. I don't know about you guys, but this dialogue doesn't make any sense, does it? It's like this crazy talk. You're talking about dictionaries and all of a sudden we say, we need a room with a big window and a big table. Okay, so that's why... but this is just an example, ok? Então, precisamos de uma sala com uma janela e uma mesa grande. Ok, so let's see here. So, on the next page, página 44, you have the explanation in English, okay? The article. So, here you have to do this exercise, okay? Now, please read. Let's go through this together, okay? It's very important that you understand this. So the nouns that usually end in O are masculine, okay? And so you're going to use o ou and those that end in A generally are feminine and they require a ou uma. Então, o livro ou um livro, a mesa, uma mesa, o caderno, um caderno, a cadeira, uma cadeira, o dicionário, um dicionário, a janela, uma janela. Ok? So, livro, mesa, caderno, cadeira, dicionário, janela. Janela is window, ok? Desculpe. So, nouns ending in dade or agem, and most nouns ending in são are feminine. So, this is something that is a good idea because this concept of, what is... masculine and feminine, it's very different. So nouns ending with these endings here, they're usually feminine. So this is going to help you, okay? Então, universidade. So there is no way for you to know, is universidade feminine or masculine? So look at the ending, dade, so it's feminine. A universidade, uma universidade. Viagem, that means trip. Então, a viagem, uma viagem. Lição, a lição ou uma lição, ending in são. some nouns that end in A, and this is the curveball. The curveball in Portuguese is pegadinha, okay? Although they end in A or ema or ama, they can be masculine, okay? So look at the example here. So dia ends with an A, but it's masculine. Mapa, masculine. Programa, masculine. Problema, masculine. I always say that problem is always masculine, okay? Solution, solução is feminine, okay? It ends with são. Okay, so when the noun ends with a no, usually the feminine is ends with an A, ok? Então, o amigo, a amiga ou uma amiga. Professor, professora. But some that end with these endings here, they do not have a masculine or feminine form. So how do you know that it's a man or a woman? It's the article, okay? So colega can be either a guy or a girl. So you're going to say o colega if you're talking about a classmate that is a guy. So you say meu colega, o colega, a colega, feminine. Estudante. So o estudante, a estudante. Cliente. O cliente, a cliente. Turista, o turista, a turista, okay? So you use definite articles with titles such as senhor or doutor, okay? But not when you're talking. So if you're talking to a doctor and you say doctor, blah, blah, blah. And remember that in Portuguese you use the first name, not the last name, okay? So if you have Dr. Andrew Brown, so you're going to say Dr. Andrew, okay? In Portuguese you're going to use the first name, doutor or doutora, okay? But when you are talking, if you're saying, Dr. Andrew told me to do this, this, and that, then you're going to say, o doutor fulano de tal, okay? Told me to do this, this, and that. But when you are addressing the person, you're not going to use senhor. Well, and so, okay, this is what I just explained. And now here, the plural, as we have discussed, okay? So, add s to form the plural and es to nouns ending in r or z. So we have some of that. I have given you some examples already, right? So a cadeira, plural, as cadeiras. O senhor, os senhores. So if it ends with an r or a z, you have to add es. O caderno, os cadernos. O nariz, the nose, os narizes. And notice here, okay? Uns, umas, the translation is some. The plural, if the word ends with an M, I have already told you this, the plural changes to, so viagem, viagens. Passagem, né? The ticket, the tickets, okay? Passagens. A situação, plural, situações. Milhão, milhões. Usually the plural of milhão is ons, okay? But you have other endings as well. And here you have to do this exercise here, and I'm just going to say it because in class we are going to do it again. So if you want to go over this, just to practice, okay? Então vamos lá. Complete the following dialogues as indicated. Supply the appropriate definite article. O, os, a. So this one is easy because you just have to see if the word is masculine or feminine. Como se chama o professor? So what does the geography professor call himself? Okay? Como se chama o professor de geografia? Não é o professor, é a professora. So it's not the professor, it's a professora. So it's not a man, it's a woman, okay? This is what you're saying. Não é o professor, é a professora de geografia. O nome dela, so the name of the woman, ok? O nome dela é Lúcia Pimentel. E o curso é interessante? So, and the course, is it interesting, né? E o curso é interessante? Remember the intonation, ok? Rising intonation. E o curso é interessante? É. But the books cost. The books cost, and then they used expensive. They cost too expensive. It should be they cost too much, right? Eles custam muito. E as leituras quer dizer readings, ok? And leituras is feminine. So, mas os livros custam muito caro e as leituras são difíceis. Supply the appropriate indefinite article now. So, preciso de comprar. So, I need to buy. Preciso comprar. You shouldn't have this here. Remember that I told you when you use a verb, you don't use the preposition de, ok? Preciso comprar uma calculadora e uma caneta, né? I need to buy a calculator and a pen. Eu preciso de... Now, I need some notebooks, ok? Eu preciso de... Now you have a noun, so you use de, ok? Eu preciso de uns cadernos e de um dicionário, mas não sei que dicionário comprar, ok? But I don't know. Não sei, I don't know. I don't know which dictionary to buy. Para o primeiro ano, ok? For the first year, some teachers use a small dictionary. Então, uns professores usam um dicionário pequeno e outros usam um dicionário grande. Fala com seu professor, né? Talk to him. Now you have they're together, okay? The definite and the indefinite. So this one is a little more challenging. So, tenho, blá, 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 teste de matemática amanhã. Então, tenho um teste de matemática amanhã e preciso tirar uma nota boa neste curso, ok? Remember that the verb tirar nota, that means to get a grade, ok? So I need to get a good grade, ok? Eu preciso tirar nota boa neste curso. So see here, preciso, there is a verb, so there is no preposition, ok? So here there was a little mistake. Quem é o professor? É a professora Veloso. Oh, what a coincidence, it's my last name too. Mas meu nome tem 2 L's, né? É a professora Veloso. And remember that in Portuguese, in Brazil, you don't say this, ever. We never use last names, okay? It should be a professora Vanessa, okay? É uma professora excelente. Então, ela é uma professora, né? She's an excellent teacher, ok? Então, indefinido, é uma professora excelente. Sim, mas o curso, né? The course that she teaches, o curso é muito difícil. Estudo a matéria. Matéria means the subject, ok? Estudo a matéria todos os dias. Dias, masculine plural. So, every day. Estudo a matéria todos os dias, mas não tiro boas notas. Que coisa! Né? Sinto muito. Que coisa means, this is just an expression to say, wow, go figure, okay? Que coisa, hein? So, when you are agreeing with a person that, something that the person says, and you say, no, que coisa, né? And the coisa means thing, okay? So, what a thing, huh? So, it's like in English when you say, go figure, sinto muito. Ok, gente, até amanhã e obrigada.